No, I'm Ron from Ron's Pasties. I'm making a small batch of pasties today, kind of a family size, you know. It makes about a half a dozen pasties, so it's a small amount of rutabaga, a little bit of onion, some potatoes, and some good fresh ground Benjamin beef. But anyway, you got to cut the rutabagas thin when you do this, or else they won't cook all the way through. A little hint is to hit them at the microwave for about 3-4 minutes. I eyeball everything. You want to have about as many rutabaga. It's kind of a 3-to-1 ratio with potatoes. So if you got potatoes, like let's say I'm only going to do 3 potatoes here. So they're probably about 1.5 pounds of potatoes. So I'll only do like 8-10 ounces of rutabaga and about the same amount of onion. So that's how I'll make it. So we're putting the rutabaga in the bowl. It's a big mixing bowl. I know you guys probably don't have one that big. You can use something else like a dish thing or something. So the rutabaga goes in, and then we're going to be cutting the onion. You want that thin too, because you want it more spread around. You don't want big chunks of onion in anything. Now I got started making pasties probably about 20 years ago. My sister owned a party store in Hell, Michigan called the Hell Country Store. And she had a big pizza oven, wanted me to make pasties one day, and then it kind of grew from there. And just off and on, I've been making pasties. I'm basically making pasties 7 days a week. I made some before I came here for this today, for the Howell Farmers Market. Okay, so a little bit of onion, about the same amount of onion as rutabaga, like I said. All right, so I got to cut the potatoes real quick. Same as a rutabaga, cut them thin. You want the mix to congeal, you know, join together really easy. You don't want to get one big mouthful of potatoes or rutabaga or onions, so this is kind of the way I do it. Like I said, we're doing 3 potatoes. They're kind of medium size, so this is just a small batch. Now, I would say, if you're going to do this at home, time-wise, energy-wise, it's probably, you know, if you don't have a convection oven, cook time's going to be about an hour, maybe a little bit more. If you have a convection oven, it's more like 45 minutes. So the prep work, if you haven't done it, isn't that bad, really. I do have a special spice mix I put in there. I'm not allowed to tell you. You'll have to come to Choice Farm Market and get that and try it out for yourself and maybe guess at it. So that's basically your mix. It's real easy. All I got is rutabaga, onion, and potatoes in there. Okay. First thing we want to add is salt. I usually use about maybe 1 palm full of salt, roughly. If you want more, you can throw it in. Pepper, I'll add a small amount. And then what I'll do is I'll mix it, and I can kind of tell the density of it if it needs more or not, which is kind of, you know, half you know what, but that's how I do it. Okay, so give that a good mix. And then I got to put in my other ingredients, the secret stuff. It's going in. All right, little mix. With a mix like this, you're probably looking at just about 1.5 pounds of beef. So when you work if you take a ball like that, okay, it's almost like between a softball and a hard ball, baseball-wise. That's about 1 pound right there. So I'm going to put 2 pounds in there, which I think would be good. Okay, now you can always, after you mix, you can always tell if you got enough in there. You'll know if you don't, you know. So this, it kind of feels a little light already. So I'm probably going to put a little bit more meat in there. Maybe another pound. If you can hold it like that and it doesn't fall apart, that probably tells you got enough meat in there. Okay, so this is the mix. This is what it's gonna look like, the finished product. This is what we check out before we do the dough. So all you're gonna do is you're gonna throw that to the side. Don't worry about it. Let it kind of marinate, because after you make the dough, you'll give it one more mix, okay? So we're gonna put it off to the side. We're gonna do a little cleanup, and then I'll show you how to do the dough. All right, this is it. It's the dough. I use lard in the dough with just regular flour and water. That's basically all you need for dough. But you can't work the dough too much. If you work it too much, it gets hard to roll out. Okay? If your crust is too firm, that means you didn't add enough water or lard to it. So I was kind of just guessing on this because I made a small batch and it's a little sticky and a little soft, so I'm going to add a little bit more flour to it. That's usually a good remedy. A little flour goes a long way. So just add like a handful in there. And as soon as it stops sticking to your gloves or your hands, you'll know it's ready after that. This is about ready. It's that quick. And there's your dough. Like I said, it's kind of an easy process. I don't know why. A lot of people get intimidated by making dough. I don't know why, but that's just the way it is. So we'll set it there. And I'll roll out a few pasties just to show you how I do it. So just throw some flour on the table. About like that, like a little hockey puck. You want to pre-form it. So many people just throw a chunk of dough down, and then when they roll it out, they wonder why it doesn't look good. It's not that hard, though. So that's basically how you do it. Here's what it looks like when it's done. It ain't pretty. It's just a sheet of dough. But I give it 1 heaping scoop per. Okay, just like that. Fold it over, kind of beat it down a little bit, and then just roll it up. It's pretty easy. Now what really makes this hard is when you got to find where to position on the dough itself. And give it a little slap there, and there's a pasty. Okay, that's what they look like. They're almost a pound when all's said and done. So I'm rolling it out again. This will be the second one. Make sure it's big enough. Okay, and you have enough dough to work with, and you can just get rid of the excess at the end. Like I said, 1 heaping scoop. I actually had to get it online, that scoop, and they do eventually wear out and break on you, the spring inside, so always remember where you get it. Take the excess off, use your thumb to beat it down, and that's what it looks like. All right, well, I'm going to do a few more of these. I'm going to throw them in the oven, and I'll check back with you when they come out. All right, they look good. You'll be able to get these every day at Choice Farm Market. They always have them hot, ready to roll. I also have the breakfast pasties there. So come out and see Loretta and her team, and they'll be more than happy to help you out.